That is a very ambitious list. Holy moly.
Yeah, I was looking at, so I was going through this. I made a video, of course, about it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, so a couple things with this list. Some of the stuff is pretty much a lock. Some of it is plausible, and some of it I know for a fact is happening. Pretty much. So looking at this list, obviously we know Marvel Spider-Man 2 is getting a pretty big showcase. That's obvious. Stellar Blade is actually supposed to come out this year still. We haven't heard anything about that in a while, but it's been at it's been at a couple state of plays, so we should definitely get a Stellar Blade update. And we got The Last of Us Factions. Naughty Dog confirmed at the Game Awards, I believe, is when they first showed it, that they would start off with that screenshot, and then in 2023 they would give us some more about that game. So PlayStation Showcase seems like the perfect opportunity for them to go into detail about The Last of Us Factions. I'd assume since they're a PlayStation exclusive, they will do that at the showcase instead of at Summer Game Fest. So I think we can lock that one in. The rest, you got some speculation. We got Ghost of Kamakura now, which would be the Ghost of Tsushima 2. As much as that would bring me great joy, Jeff Grubb came out and said, unfortunately, on his podcast, no Ghost of Tsushima 2. Don't expect that to be announced at the showcase, along with Dragon Age Dread something, which I don't care about Dragon Age, but if you're a Dragon Age fan, Jeff Grubb says don't look for that. But I was sad because I really wanted Ghost of Tsushima 2, but if Sucker Punch had something else to announce, perhaps a new Infamous game or Sly Cooper, I wouldn't say no to that either. Death Stranding 2, I mean, that seems like a lock. They already teased that before with a trailer, so I think we should definitely get an update on that. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, that seems to be a lock. Disney Domination, I'm pretty sure that's not actually real. That's supposed to be like Sony's answer to like Smash Brothers and multiverses with like Disney. Don't think that's a thing officially. Silent Hill 2, I'd say probably. Snake Eater, the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Jeff Grubb seems to think that's going to be a thing at the showcase, so put that as a probably. The rest of these, some of them seem plausible. Maybe the Twisted Metal, I've heard some stuff about. Resident Evil 4 VR seems likely. But what do you think? What do you think of this list there, Mr. Shotglass?
It looks mighty fake.
Of course.
Like it looks very, very much like someone took a wish list of like all the games that people say they want and like tried to like put it together and make it look real. Like you, I would also love a Ghost 2. I also actually that whatever Dark Side is supposed to be by Sam Moxu has made me think of the fact that Raf Grassetti, I don't know if you saw this. Raf Grassetti is the he like runs the art department, I guess, at Sony Santa Monica. I know him because he made like a Nova minibus, and I bought one from him. And today was his last day at Sony Santa Monica.
Really?
He hasn't announced what he's doing next, but yeah, he's like literally their art director for like over 10 years, I guess. So yeah, I just saw that.
Well, I know what Dark Side is because I had to do research on it for the video that I made. It's apparently was a PS4 exclusive action RPG that Santa Monica was allegedly working on that got canceled internally because they couldn't get it to work as they wanted it to, and they decided that they would be best to put their efforts towards God of War, and that's pretty much what they've been doing ever since. So it'd be interesting if now is the time they decide to do maybe not this one, but in a new IP rather than rather than trying to do announce something more for God of War. That's definitely possible. I can see.
I don't like I say the same thing. Like, I think we talked about this last week when we were talking about actors like not coming back for like Chris Evans, like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
want to be Captain America anymore. I don't understand that philosophy. Like, I feel like it can't be that bad to be Captain America, and I'm sure he's making bank off of it.
Of course.
Like, I I don't understand the idea of oh, let's just try something different from God of War, Like, there's so many studios that have been like, oh, we've got this great idea. Let's take a little break from what everybody knows us for, which sells through the roof, and let's go do this weird thing, like Battleborn. Hey, we're Gearbox. Everybody loves Borderlands, but you know what we should do? We should do this kind of Overwatchy PvE Battleborn, and it tanks.
See now, as an artist, I can actually understand where people like that may be coming from, because there is a such thing as creative burnout. Like, especially if we're talking with a long running series like God of War. I mean, we're up to the sixth, was it the fifth one? We're up to God of War 5 now. So I understand if you've made, there's a lot that goes into these games, So I can understand if you've done 5 games already, and you're just kind of feeling like, okay, we can try to just make the same game, but with another mythology, or you just feel like, is there more story to tell here, and more importantly, is it going to be up to our standards? Because of course they can, any company can just shit out another sequel, but if they do, then if it doesn't hit like the others, then people are going to be complaining about it. And it's like, yeah, like if we want to encourage studios to be creative, but also consider the players. So obviously that can go horribly wrong if you choose the wrong project. But if you legitimately don't feel like you creatively have something to say at this time with that particular game or movie franchise or show, I think it's perfectly valid to step away for a while, try something else, come back down the line when you got some fresh ideas.
But Sony Santa Monica has already shown you what they'll do when they're like creatively bankrupt with God of War. They'll take Kratos and they'll just put him in a new mythology. So why aren't we just throwing him into Egyptian mythology? Let him go fight Khonshu,
I mean, that's what's expected, and that's the great thing about God of War in particular. They can always just do that. but I gotta, yeah. But if they wanted to make something, especially if they grew in size and were like, well, let's have something else come out under our studio other than another God of War game for JS, I'd be fine with that. Like, I know there's always going to be backlash, when a company tries to do things. I mean, just last Rocksteady, like
right. They can grow as a company too, like there's no reason they can't have multiple projects going on. So
that's of course, true. Yeah, some studios can have better, others, but larger studios, yeah, I think it makes sense. We know Insomniac has multiple, irons in the fire. They had Miles Morales out there, while at the same time they were ready to launch Ratchet and Clank, a year later. Plus they had Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine cooking, and apparently they have a multiplayer game that's in the works as well. I just read recently they're at over 500 employees. So yeah, if you got enough people, you could definitely handle multiple projects.
I love Jose Legend's comment. At this point, just put Kratos in the Pokemon world. Let him get roasted by Charizard.
Imagine. Imagine God of War, like a legitimate God of War crossover.
Kratos versus Pikachu.
Oh my god! That would actually, that would actually kind of be fun. Someone who's really good at animation should make a short where God of War
I'm sure
just fights Pokemon and just beats them to death. Yeah. Brutal. just rips Pikachu in half.
And Ash is there like, no, Kratos, you have to catch them all.
He's like, and he's like, I did. just breaks.
It's gonna be like that scene where in Star Wars Episode 7 where Chewbacca's around the fire eating porgs. My favorite scene in the movie, by the way.
Of course.
Maybe that was The Last Jedi. I don't remember.
And he's just sitting there eating Jigglypuff by the fire. Right? By the fire. That'd be sick. Like usually right. I haven't. If someone's made it, I will definitely look it up. But usually I see when I see that fan animation, it's usually anime related. Like a Saitama versus Goku or Superman type of deal. Rarely have I seen I've not seen a Kratos versus Pokemon. But if I gave someone the idea, you don't even have to give us credit. But we'd appreciate the shout out nonetheless, because that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah. Wasn't Hades like only on Xbox at first?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It might have been originally. I do vaguely remember hearing about Hades at a previous event.
We haven't seen games like switch their lead platform. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. Just look at your.
I haven't heard about this Disney domination though.
Yeah, Disney domination would be hilarious, but I've heard conflicting things. I've heard it's fake or real, depending on who you're asking.
It's weird. I feel like I don't see a reason why Disney wouldn't do, a battle. What are we calling them?
Battle Royale, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So originally, Hades is on all platforms, so that'd be interesting. But and it doesn't say exclusive on here, I don't believe. Yeah.
But I just is weird. I know for a fact that they already announced something new for Hades during an Xbox thing. So like I do think that there is a new Hades of some kind. I don't know if it's Hades 2.
Yeah.
But like
so it'll probably be in the third party partner section of the showcase.
Yeah. I just think it'd be weird because do we know, like, is there an estimated like length of this thing?
Yeah, they said in the blog it will be a little over an hour.
Yeah, and that's a lot of games for a little over an hour.
Now,
all right,
but
1, 2, 3, 4.
Keep in mind, Sony doesn't screw around when it comes to showcases. It's just like boom, 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 everything one after another.
Yeah, but like even that, there's 24 games there. If you're giving them each 3 minutes each, like
they're not all going to get 3 minutes each.
Yeah, well, if they're not going to get 3 minutes each, then if others are going to get more,
like from what I remember from the last showcase, it's usually a trailer. It could be 30 seconds to a minute, and then for some games, if a game that's the spotlight, like I think the last showcase, the spotlight game was God of War Ragnarok, so that got a significant chunk, and I think it would be like that.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, so Spider-Man will be essentially in the God of War Ragnarok slot. Based on and we know some of this stuff definitely isn't going to be there, but I can definitely see it'd be maybe substitute some of these games out, replace them with some more VR, because we know for a fact there's going to be like several VR titles and some hardware. But I think we can definitely lock it. I think we can definitely lock in Last of Us Factions, Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil 4 VR, the Final Fantasy Rebirth, the Metal Gear Solid remake, Stellar Blade, Hades 2, Death Stranding 2, and definitely obviously Marvel Spider-Man 2 being the big thing, and I think we'll see something from Mortal Kombat as well. So a lot of these, and we'll have some stuff in the game. So there'll be 30-second teasers. There'll be like a minute or two trailers, and of course Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm expecting probably be like 5 to 10 minutes, maybe. They'll have a new trailer. They'll have commentary from the developers, and I expect them to walk us through some gameplay, and there'll probably be a specific gameplay trailer to go with it, and then they'll close it out with a release date and maybe some promotion for the remaster, the standalone remaster. But yeah, imagine if they announced a demo. that'd be crazy.
Oh, there's not.
Yeah, definitely not. But that would be hilarious.
You know what I hope happens? I hope that they start panning up, like from his foot, and like it's Spider-Man, and they're starting to like go up with the camera, and then they get to his knees, and then the screen just goes black, and it says "coming soon."
That would be an amazing troll. No, if it's literally just you literally see the Marvel and the Insomniac logo, everyone just immediately freaks out, and then it's just that screenshot, that insanity screenshot of Miles and Peter from the 2021 one that everyone's memeing, and it just says fall 2023, and they just end the show. They just end the entire show.
Or how like in Looney Tunes and Porky Pig comes on and it's like that's all, folks.
Yeah,
they do something like that, but it's like Spider-Ham.
Oh my god, that the amount of rage.
At this point, honestly, I want violence for them. Like they can be so annoying.
Game is really.
All right, so here's what's gonna happen. Okay, no matter what they do, it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some like Miles is gonna have like a pube stash or something, and they're gonna complain that like it's not like the right type of body hair for a black teenage boy, and like, oh, that's white man mustache hair, like it's gonna be something like that, and
that's quite a take.
And Peter's sideburns are going to be too long, and then Peter doesn't even have sideburns, so it's going to be something. It is.
I actually literally saw a comment on my video from earlier about the leak, because I used the Spider-Man for the thumbnail that I designed, and as someone complimented the head shape, because they thought that since they changed the new face, the angle of his head was off and made it look too small. So they wanted to be. They're hoping it's larger.
I never understand that.
I'm like, I have never just that never occurred. Something like that would never occur. I would never just sit there staring at an image and be like, what's off? The angle of the head should be I don't. Like, they obsessed over like when they literally changed the face. I don't even think I noticed until initially. I was just like, I just saw the backlash online. I'm like, what are they mad about? To this day, I'm like, if you show me both of them side by side, I'd be like, oh, one looks slightly younger.
Well, it's a weird thing. I still think it's weird that they did it to begin with. Like, I don't see the point.
Yeah. So it could be it could have been a contract thing. Like who knows? This is a for whatever reason, stuff like this happens. For whatever reason, they decided they couldn't work with that particular actor anymore, so they got a new actor to do the face. Who cares? Look, here's
what's weird. There are people that probably bought the game, like waited for it to go on sale or waited for it to go on PS Plus. That's the only face they even know. Can you even imagine that?
That is definitely true. I mean, we know that's definitely true. So I'm like, I played the original with the old face, and the upgraded one with the new face, and I don't give a shit at all. So I can imagine a large amount of people that just know that as the face, and when they see people mentioning the face in the comments, they have no idea what people are talking about. It's just like, what do you mean? That's his face. That's Peter. I don't understand the backlash. You're right there. There's always historically, this is unfortunately what we come to expect. Insomniac always delivers a great game, but when it comes to Spider-Man, there's always something stupid that these idiots hyper fixate on to whine about, and then the game ends up being a masterpiece, and they shut the fuck up once they actually get it and play it. But except for Spider-Man PS4, when they spent literally months whining about that stupid Tobey Maguire suit,